looking at you guys as the underdog heading into this playoff series.
And the playing.
And the playing. How do you guys use it as motivation to fuel you guys through the game?
I mean, it's not about proving people wrong. It's about making sure we do what we need to do to prove ourselves right. So that's how I look at it. I know that's how our team looks at it. We don't. I mean, obviously we see it all that, but it doesn't necessarily affect us. I mean, in a certain way. I think we know what we put in, the work we put in, and we try to go out and show what we've done.
But athletes are always looking for an edge, aren't they? I mean, something to help build them up before a game, during a game, motivation-wise.
Yeah, I mean, some choose what to let it be an itch and let it be motivation, and some people, they handle this in different ways.
What is it about you specifically, though, that kind of thrives off of that? Like when people are counting you out and they don't expect you, and when you seem to play your best?
I mean, I've just been that way my whole life, just because I've been counting out my whole life, so it's nothing new to me. So I don't necessarily look at it for more motivation or anything like that. It's just another day for me. I've been in high school, going into college, I was too small, certain things. Going into the NBA is the same thing. I don't let that affect me. I just be myself and try to get my team to win. That's all I care about.
Outside of that, what about this series leads you to believe that you guys have a real shot to win?
I mean, we have really good players. I mean, we can play at a high level. And it's a series. We beat the #1 seed before. Since I've been here, so I feel like I have confidence in my teammates, confidence in myself that we can go out and do anything. So I definitely believe.
With Sadiq coming here in a trade and Coach Quinn put in Jalen in the start part in the rotation, is this the most athletic team that's been around since you've been here?
Definitely, for sure. I mean, we have a lot of athletic guys. We're a lot younger for sure than we've been these last couple of years, but we definitely have a lot of young athletic guys. JJ has been playing really well for us, rebounding, Sadiq coming in, doing the same thing, knocking down shots. They've been really good on the glass, helping that, and our athleticism has been showing in that way for sure.
After the play, you mentioned how happy you were for Jalen and Sadiq's experience being in the playoffs. What advice have you been able to give them about focusing on what's ahead of them?
Really just to remain themselves. I mean, it's crazy because they're kind of like how I was when I was going in my first one and asking the vets and older guys questions, just what to expect and things like that. And as Sadiq got on the bus, after the game in Miami, he was so excited and I was so happy for him. And it's like those moments that you just, not everybody gets to see in those things. So it's exciting for me to have certain guys that it's their first time going into a playoff series. Playing in Boston, it's going to be loud, so it's going to be a fun series for sure.
How does your first playoff experience feel different from now your third? Like, what have you kind of felt or get used to almost?
Whenever you achieve something, the expectations rise. So, obviously when we did what we did that year, the expectation, rose to the next year, and obviously we didn't meet expectations from ourselves, much less, everybody else around here, what we wanted to do. So, I think the expectations rise whenever you make that first run or that first push in the playoffs. And, you just got to continue to try to be better than the year before.
There wasn't like Tuesday night to be on the floor and you just got rebound after rebound after rebound. And how can you guys replicate that?
We want to try to do that every game, especially going into this series. That was a big emphasis for us that night, attacking the glass and making it tough for them to get out and transition and not letting it just be easy for them. So I know it's emphasis for Q and our team now, and I think they're going to be more alert on not letting us get offensive rebounds, obviously, but obviously we're still going to crash and try to get those as much as we can.
Trae, I don't know if you saw it, but a few weeks ago, Austin Reeves shouted you out, and he shouted out James Harden as far as saying he studied your game to see how he could incorporate that. What is it like having fellow NBA players kind of shout you out and say that they look at your game?
It's humbling. Because I was young and I still look up to some of the guys still in our league today. So, it's humbling. I don't take it for granted. I try to go out and represent myself. The best way I can every night. So, it's definitely humbling, and I don't take it for granted.
One of the things that Quinn has talked about a lot since he's gotten here is floor balance. He uses that phrase a lot. What does he mean by that, and how do you as the point guard kind of set that up?
When the floor is not balanced, it's hard to get into creases, get into gaps, and spacing can be messed up sometimes. I think that was a big emphasis, like you said, for him, is making sure our spacing is right. A lot of it is making sure everybody's in the right spots, and sometimes whenever you don't know, where to go, and you're kind of having to think on the fly for yourself, it's it's sometimes tough, especially for a young team. And we're not like we had a lot of vets that can kind of think for themselves. We got guys that we need to kind of talk to. And I think Q's done a great job of just kind of putting everybody in great spots and balancing the floor and making it easier for guys to drive and get in space and kick it to people, and we know where they're going to be at. So I think that's important for us moving forward for sure.
What, if anything, can you learn from last year being bounced early and only getting one win the first round, but kind of taking even just using motivation going into this first series?
I mean, last year was last year. We got to focus on this year and Boston coming up. We just played Miami, so we're focused on Boston, making sure we don't just win one game. We want to win 4.
Winning a game by crashing the glass, right? And one of the most athletic teams you've been on here. How different does this team feel right now than you were, earlier in the season when you're playing Boston? When you played Boston?
I mean, we're different. We didn't have Bogey earlier in the season either, so I think obviously shooting was one of our key missing points we were missing early in the season. So having Bogey back and having a more emphasis on shooting threes and making sure everybody is ready to shoot and having that confidence to shoot it, I think it's a big difference for sure.